Today we are going to be talking about marketing channels and setting up your content marketing calendar. This is my favorite part of this entire process because it's like goals, once you put stuff down on paper and then put a plan to execute against it, it gets done. So let's dive in. Let's take a look at our marketing checklist here. So we've crafted our story, we've determined who our audience is. We've put together messaging that is relatable to that audience. And now we're on section 4, which is channels, and we went ahead and put together the relevant channels for each audience. So let's take a look at that list. I'm going to click on the example here, which is the Wander Badges, which is our sample site. Again, if you're unfamiliar, Wander Badges are these cool travel stickers. This is a sample product that we put together, but you can actually buy them today. You scan this little QR code. The first time you scan it, you're able to link to either photos from your social media account or upload new images from where you were when you were visiting that location. And then when anyone else scans it, it's on the back of your laptop, whatever, it'll take them to the gallery where you can relive those travel memories. Okay, so with that context, we had our 3 different sort of personas that we put together, our audience segments, which was like the adventure enthusiast, the memory keeper and sentimental collectors, and then the young professionals and digital nomads. For this, we're focusing on, this one is kind of what we call P0, our top priority. So we're going to be focusing on this for our content strategy today. You can go back and watch a previous video and it'll show you how we completed this entire document. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to look at what the P0s and the P1s are to decide where we want to start when it comes to our content calendar. So I'm just going to go through here and kind of take my little highlighter here. Let me turn my mouse on too so I can zoom in on certain areas. But social media is a P0 across the board. But again, we're going to be focusing on this middle column here, or sorry, this first column here. So P0, I'm just going to take my little highlighter. That one's kind of hard to see because the text is already white. I'll fix that. Okay, so that was a P0. TikTok is a P1 for us, but I think TikTok's going to be an important channel, so we'll keep going. Instagram Reels, I actually think is going to be important. This is listed as a P2, but we're going to be putting, it's got Instagram as a P0 down here. And again, ChatGPT picked the priority for these. So all of this is always a bit of an art and a science. I use ChatGPT to kind of put stuff on paper, and then you use intuition and knowing your audience to really drill down. So Instagram Reels is going to be part of this, but that's going to be kind of automatic. When we create content for TikTok, we're going to put it on Instagram Reels. YouTube, I say YouTube Shorts because this is all short form video, would definitely be a priority for us. Instagram Post, short term video, and images is going to be a priority for us. Facebook and LinkedIn. LinkedIn is definitely not. Facebook, when we post to Instagram, we can post those photos to our Facebook page too. But it's slightly less of a priority than Instagram, which makes sense given the younger audience that would be into this. Newsletters and email drip campaigns, not a huge priority. We'll eventually get there, but that's not the thing we're going to start on. Blogging, there are like travel blogs. This one I'm going to highlight, but I'm actually going to make it orange because I think that there are so many different travel blogs out there that trying to compete on that front will be pretty challenging. I'd rather see us maybe go find a few. And again, ChatGPT put some examples down here, so you can actually click on these and it'll take you to those. Almost doing like guest posts or maybe sponsored posts in some of those blogs to get us started would be a lot easier than starting from scratch. Case studies, podcast, like these are more for, business to business type things. So it's not a surprise that these did not score well from our prioritization standpoint. Again, this is a P3, a P2. I think we can skip podcasts and webinars. On-page SEO, not going to be a big priority for us. Off-page SEO, this is the guest blogs and things that I was talking about. I actually do think that those are going to be important for us. So I'm gonna put those back into that orange category like I did before. Local SEO, travel guides and stuff. I don't think this will be a big deal. Eventually we could get to a point, if this went well, where we could maybe have a bunch of these things made and sent to like national parks, visitor centers, stuff like that that are relevant to the area. Kind of similar to when you see magnets and snow globes. I think that could be pretty cool, but for now, we'll just leave it. Search engine advertising. This is listed as a P2. Adventure travel souvenirs. Google Ads, adventure keepsakes, best souvenirs for travelers. That could be kind of an interesting one. I'm going to actually make that yellow because we'll see what AI tools are available to help us with the Google Ads. Okay, sponsored. This is social media advertising. Instagram ads, it says, are going to be big for us. So we'll try that. And again, the way Facebook works is usually when you run a campaign, it recommends doing it across Facebook and Instagram, and it'll find your audience where they are and get you the best return on investment. So I'm actually going to put Facebook ads as an orange because I think those will kind of go hand in hand. I don't really think we're going to be able to clearly separate them as much. And TikTok ads, I've actually never run. So that'll be a fun one to test out together. Let's make that one yellow too, because I think that'll be fun. Banner ads, programmatic ads, no. Sponsored content, I think we'll hold off on that one for now until we have more of a budget. Interestingly, in the prompt that kind of put this table together, we told ChatGPT it could only assign 3 P0s and 3 P1s. So anything listed as P0 is definitely like the top priority. It has micro and macro influencers as both P0s. So it really thinks influencers are going to be great for these badges. And so what I'm thinking is maybe we can use some different tools, AI-related tools, to help us identify which influencers we should be going after and then help us reach out to them. And maybe we could put together a budget of like $1,000 or something like that and just do some test runs and see how it goes. But I'm going to make both of these priority. This is going to be less relevant to our content calendar, by the way. So we're going to come back and revisit this one a little bit later, but for now, that's fine. Commission-based programs, we don't really have something built out for that yet, but eventually we could do that, especially if we're going to be working with these influencers where they post a link, below their video or something like that, and then they get commission based on those posts. But I think at the beginning, they're just going to want straight up fees for that. Conferences, that could be cool, but we're pretty far away from that. The whole point of this is to kind of try to keep this digital base. So we'll take a look at conferences later. Press releases and guest articles, those could be kind of cool. Once we feel like the product's in a really good place to scale, it might be worth reaching out to some press. And then guest articles, again, we need a little bit more clout here, I think. So let's go ahead and put that one as orange for us now. Okay, so now we have all of these different channels that we want to start with. Let's go back to our marketing checklist. And you can go to the content distribution plan. And so I'm actually going to click on the Wander Badge example since we're doing that. And you'll see for the Wander Badges calendar specifically, I actually added 2 new tabs at the bottom here. One is December and one is November of this year, so we could get started on it. If you go and you look at the template and it's 2005 or later, it'll probably start with January of 2005. And then you can start building it out from there. But there are ways to kind of modify this template if you need to kind of go back and add some months from 2024 or add some future months or something like that. Okay, so we didn't have X or Twitter highlighted as a top priority for us. So for now, I'm going to right click here and I'm going to go to hide columns and I'll go ahead and hide those. It looks like it kind of messed up our, oops, a little symbol there. That's okay. So we've got Instagram, TikTok, those were both on our list. YouTube Shorts was on our list. And LinkedIn was not on our list. So I'm going to go ahead and hide that as well. Whoops, hide columns there. All right. So now we're going to go through and decide what content that we want to put. I'm going to go back to November. Today is actually November 11th, and it's 2024. So if I go here, this means we would start today on November 11th, and then we can put together both what the content is we want to post to social media on that day. Oops. How did that? Oh, this is a different tab. So again, these are all separate tabs. So when you delete or hide these rows, you're going to have to do it in all the tabs. So let me go ahead and hide those columns. Sorry, hide the columns, not the rows. And then these days have already passed. So I'm just going to put kind of NA here just so we don't get confused. And then we're actually going to start with today, which is Monday, November 11th. And then one of the cool things, if you go back to, if you go back to this and you look at these, you can start to get some inspiration for the different things you want to see. So for example, it's saying that Nat Geo Travel for Instagram post is a really good example. And if I open that up, they have some amazing content. They have 46 million followers. And if you start to kind of hover over, you see which ones get the most likes. So like this best of the world travel, it's just showing clips of the different places they traveled throughout the year. So this should be pretty easy to put together. For me, I've been to over 100 countries. I have a ton of content that I could use for Wonder Badges, which is why I picked it. For you, depending on what you sell, right, there's going to be some content that's relevant to your audience that you can either use like a story blocks to pull that content. You can pull it from your audience that posted and ask them to use their content, or you can create the content yourself. If you were having like a plumber shop or something like that, maybe it's like you show how to fix simple sample leaks, or you show like really amazing bathrooms, or like whatever it is that is relevant to your audience. I'm sure if you're into it and it's your business, you probably have similar interests. Okay, so this is cool. Like top destinations would be a good one. You can just kind of take a scratch pad and follow these accounts yourself too, because you're going to see stuff that over time that gives you ideas on what content that you should be posting yourself. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go through, and I'm not going to do all of these. You can also use ChatGPT. So let me just give you an example here. I'm putting together a content calendar for, and then you can come back here and you can go to your audience. For this audience, what are 10 content ideas to add? And then I copied that over from our marketing channels document. It's also in your audience section. We just copied it and pasted it before. And then I'm just going to add this to the end of here. And this, I think, is probably one of ChatGPT's best superpowers, is just ideating on ideas like this. And then again, you'll go in and tweak them. Once we have the content calendar in place, the goal is not for you to go through and manage this. You have a business to run. The goal is to figure out exactly what type of content it is we want to post it, when we want to post it. And then we're going to start writing SOPs, or standard operating procedures, to be able to either hand this off or use AI tools to do it for us, or a combination of both. It'll likely be, we will hire someone like an assistant, likely in an international market, and give them a standard operating procedure where they can use AI tools to do this very, very quickly. And then, for a couple bucks a day, you can have someone managing all of your accounts for you and post across many, many different accounts. But again, because we put all the messaging and documents and stuff together, it all like ladders back to the same brand. So you have this sort of cohesion and cohesiveness across all your channels. So your adventure, your story series, see, these are great. Memory moments, throwbacks, top 10 must-have travel gadgets, So this is all great stuff. So what I'm going to do now, I'm not going to go through and put that entire content together, calendar together. I'm going to continue using ChatGPT to go back and forth, and then I'm going to fill out content ideas for Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube for the month of November. And if you ever go back into the marketing checklist, you'll be able to see the content calendar I have laid out. So if you need more inspo, that'll be there for you. Otherwise, that's kind of the process. Use ChatGPT to get ideas, fill out your content calendar, and then next we'll go through and show you how to put SOPs, standard operating procedures together, and what tools you can use like Buffer to keep all of this organized and automated so you can focus on the thing that you need to focus on, which is running your business. So that's it for now. We'll see you next time.